Welcome, designers. Today we are going to be creating our e-portfolios. That means our electronic portfolio of work. This is what we're going to use to record all of our projects through all stages of a design cycle for the entire year. This is actually going to be your final for the course since we don't have any exams. This is going to be the final that you're going to have, which is a presentation of all of your work throughout the year. So what I want you to do is you are going to go into Google Classroom and you're going to click on the section that says e-portfolio requirements. So before we get started, just to talk about what an e-portfolio is, if you are at any sort of career that has to do with visuals, if you're an architect, if you are an artist, if you're a photographer, if you're a website designer, graphic designer, all of those things have very visual components to it. So rather than just handing in a resume that lists everything that you've done and your career and education, you're also going to want to give a visual of your work. And that's what a portfolio is. So E stands for electronic portfolio. We're going to be putting ours together on a website. So this is going to conclude our intro to G Suite or our intro to Google Suites. So let's get started. We're going to start here with the requirement page. So for today, we're actually going to be just creating the first page of our ePortfolio and getting used to Google Sites. So for your ePortfolio, these are the 3 requirements that you're going to have completed for today. So you're going to add your name, we're going to decorate it and really show off your aesthetic style, and then we're going to make sure that you have copied and pasted the link for me to grade. Okay, so those are 3 things that I'm going to be looking for today. Let's get you started though with getting into your Google Sites. We're going to go up here to our Google Apps waffle. You're going to find Google Sites. Yours might be located in a different area, but it'll say Sites and it'll have that dark blue color to it. Once you are up, you're going to see here that there's a couple of options. There is a template gallery. Okay, so they've got different general templates that you can use. You can use any of these. I'm going to start with a blank one though, so you can really get an idea of your options. So go ahead and select a blank Google site. This is the Google site page that you're going to be working on. Okay, so you're going to have a couple of things here. A lot of options to be creative. You've got things like a text box that you can add, images, you can embed videos, you can add things from your Google Drive, whether it's movies, photos, or Google Drive documents. These are all things that you can use to create your site. So I'm going to show you one that I've created prior, just to give you an idea of what direction we're going in. This is a template I did for an ePortfolio. You can see here that I have it named with my name. I have ePortfolio on it. I also have named it ePortfolio with my name. Okay, that's going to help you guys find it. I added a photograph to the background. That's me, Mr. March. And you can see here that this is where I've added all of my images. Okay, I'm going to go through how you do that. Just again, looking at the requirements. So you might be asking, what kind of images am I adding? I'm trying to get an idea, or you are trying to convey your design style, your design aesthetic. What are you interested in? Do you like things a little more modern? Do you like them vintage? Is there a color scheme? Give me something with your style to it. It's like your first meeting, right? Okay, it's gonna be someone's first introduction to you is seeing that first page of your design portfolio. So the images should include the following. I'm going to ask that you have one of each. Okay, so one of each of these. I would like a style of a home. one photo video of interior design. That means like a room that's decorated. One photo that includes something that has to do with fashion. One photo that has to do with a product. So what I mean by product is anything that is man-made that doesn't fall into these other categories. So it could be furniture, glasses, a backpack, water bottle, lunchbox. Any of those things could fall under a product. One photograph that represents art that you like. Something that has to do with the music that you're interested in. That could be a photograph of your favorite musical artist. It could be a music video that you embed. It could be the album cover that you really like. And finally, I have a vehicle, some sort of mode of transportation. Okay. And again, I'm pretty lenient here with what you're adding. It's really what you are interested in. So you have to have one of each. And then total, you need at least 20 photos and videos. Please feel free to go beyond this and add as much as you would like. Okay. So again, going through my example, I have here some photographs of interior design that I like. I have some images of homes. You can see here that they kind of match, but are also in a different style. So we've got mid-century modern, we've got Victorian, but it's kind of just the scheme I'm sticking with. Fashion. So I've got a range here. Okay, this is fashion that I find interesting. Art, it's a different artists that I like. Vehicles, I love the Ford Bronco and I really like El Camino, so I put those in there. Products, so I have a chair, it's the famous Eames lounge chair, and then I have products by the classic designer Dieter Rams. And then I've got some extra stuff. So I added photographs of nature. And for me, that's kind of part of my personality, my style. I really like the outdoors. And so that's something that I like to incorporate into my designs. So I added this section that has nature-based images. And then finally, I have stuff for music. So these are music videos that I enjoy, some artists that I'm into. And again, this is kind of just hitting the basics. You guys can go above and beyond this. Okay, but this is what I have here for my e-portfolio. So let's go back to your site. Now that you have this up and started, as I am building and showing you how to do things on the Google site, please feel free to pause this video as needed to work on it and then catch up. So the first thing you're going to do is name your title. So you're going to name e-portfolio and then your name. So I'm going to put Mrs. George. Now that I have this, you've got options. Again, you are trying to convey a style. So you can change the type of text that you have. You could make it bold. You could change the font size. Get a lot larger there. And if you don't like something, like I didn't like how I did that, I want to revert it. This button is the undo, and then that's the redo button. So I'm going to undo to where it was a size that I like. Okay. You can also change it to different headings, change where it's aligned, if I want it to the side or if I want it centered. Okay, so a whole bunch of options. So I'm going to keep it as ePortfolio Mrs. George. And then the next thing I want you to do is to name your site. So ePortfolio Mrs. George. That way you can easily like search for it in your Google Drive or Google Sites, and you're going to be able to find it there. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to have you do is we are going to change this background here. So this is what it comes with. It's just like the stock image that we have, but I want to change it. There's a couple ways that you can do that. You can upload a photo. So that means you'd be uploading it from your computer, something that you downloaded prior. Or you can go to select type. So there are different options here under select images. Gallery has just the basic images, stock photos that it comes with. Still, some of these are pretty cool. Okay, that one looks neat. If I liked that one, I could select that. And I go down there to the select box. And that's pretty nice. But let's say you wanted something a little more unique and you wanted to be able to search the web for it. So I could go to change image, select image, search, and then let me put nature. Like I said before, that's something I'm interested in. So I could just scroll around and find a nature pic that I think is pretty cool. And that also goes for the backdrop here. So I'm going to choose, let's say this one. We'll go with that. And you see that little sparkle there, and it said adjusting for readability. What it's doing is it's changing how tinted this backdrop is so that your letters aren't washed out. We talked about that with your Google Sites as far as making the text legible. So that's what it's doing there. It's trying to change that a little bit. Okay. So again, feel free to pause as we go along. Now that you have a name, you've named your Google site, you've added something to the background there, I'm going to show you how to add different images. There's a couple ways to do this. So the first thing is images is right here. So I could, same thing as I did for this background, I could click images and then, oops, I clicked upload. Again, that's just going to show you options for you to choose images that you've downloaded. I think for now, I'm probably just going to stick with select. So you've got the option to select the different images that you want through either your Drive or a Google image search. So let's say the first thing that I'm looking for would be maybe style of homes. And if I like, I'm going to go with Victorian. And again, it could be modern, it could be something in the city, it could be urban. You could just look for homes and then find images of things you like and kind of go from there. If you don't really know what to call it, if you just want to search around, that's totally fine. Let me see. I'm going to find a type of house that I like. I don't know. These are all really cool. How to go with this one? We'll go with a winter scene. So I can hit select, and then it's just going to be added to the bottom here. So it comes at a set size, but you can change it. So you can crop it if you wanted to change and cut down on the photo. Okay, and it would crop it. You could also make the photo larger. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, as you're making photos larger, make sure you're pulling from the corner to adjust them. You can see here, if I go to thin, on either side, it cuts off the photo. It doesn't stretch it. It's just going to cut it off. So I kind of want to make sure I got the whole photo in there. Okay, so I've got one photo of a home. Maybe I want to do interior design as my next photo. Here's another way that you can add photos. You can double click anywhere on your site and you're going to get this wheel of options that has basically everything from up here, your images, uploading text, Google Drive, and embedding hyperlinks. I'm looking for an image, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to Google image search. I'm just going to put in interior design. Maybe I don't know what style I like. Maybe I'll just look for interior design and find something that catches my eye. So I'm looking through here and no, let's see. I think this one looks pretty cool. I'm going to add that. It's got a bunch of plants and different like lighting fixtures. So I'm going to add that for my interior design here. And again, I'm going to like stretch that to make it fit. I could put a bunch of little photos in here and kind of fill up this block if I wanted to. Or again, you kind of stretch and then elongate. Maybe I'll go that size. Okay, so it's another way that you can add images from the side here, double clicking, but there is another way. Let's say I wanted to do cars for my vehicle. That's what I wanted to use. I could also go to a Google image search, and I'm going to get, oh, first of all, we got Cars the movie here, but I'm going to get more options if I do a Google image search rather than clicking on your ePortfolio, because it restricts certain things because you're using G Suite there for school. So that didn't give me exactly what I wanted. Maybe I want to do vintage cars because that kind of goes with the Victorian theme. So yeah, let me find something a little vintage here. And I really like the looks of this one. So what I'm going to do is you can actually click your image and then drag it, hold it over that ePortfolio, and I am going to drop it there. So that's probably honestly the easiest way for you to add your images. Now I want this to meet at the bottom, so I'm going to crop it a little bit again, just to kind of round this out and make it symmetrical. So now I have these 3 images on my ePortfolio. So you guys know how 3 different ways to add your images. But you can see this background is white and just a little plain. So I want to change this background. So I'm going to go to the style selections. So if I just do style 2, it's going to make it gray. If I make it style 3, it's going to make it blue. And that's all based on my theme of being simple and blue. If I stick to this theme simple, but I change it to pink, obviously that's what it looks like. Green, it looks like that. You could try different themes. Okay, it's another way to kind of mix it up. You've got different themes. But honestly, I don't really like any of those colors. It's not really what I'm going for. I don't think it really matches all together. So I'm going to go back to the blue, but I'm going to insert a picture back here. Now I've got options. Again, select image. It's going to give me a couple of stock photos here that I could add. You've got some nice options. If I wanted to add a keyboard for some reason and add that in, you can't really see the keys. It kind of goes almost, but that's not really one. I want a solid color. So I'm going to go to style image, select image, and then I'm going to go to search. This is where you can search. I can search different photos. If I wanted another nature photo, I can search for another nature photo, but I actually want to search for a color. So I'm going to go sage green. And let's see. I think this kind of goes with everything. Maybe this one because it's like got a fade to it will look cool. So I'm just choosing a color here. And now I've got this color behind it, helping to kind of pull everything together. Now, me personally, I'm nitpicky. So I'd probably maybe even change this Victorian house to fit the theme a little bit more, but you guys get the idea. You can mess around with this as much as you want, kind of tweaking every little thing so it's nice and cohesive. So you now know how to insert images. Okay, you know how to change the background. Let's say I wanted to add some text somewhere. Maybe I just wanted to like let everyone know this was a Victorian home. I'm going to go to text box. So that's going to bring a text box up here. Now for me, I want to move it because I actually want it under this Victorian home. So you can just drag and drop. Again, very easy. Capitalize that. So again, I'm just kind of labeling this. I've seen students label their different sections. Maybe they did everything that was fashion and they had a fashion title. Maybe they did cars and that had a theme to it. And I'm actually going to change the font because I'm saying it's a Victorian home. That kind of has a certain style to it. So I'm going to find a font. There we go. That goes with the Victorian theme. Okay, so there we go. We've got that added. We've got text. Now let's say I wanted to add a video. Maybe I want to play, like I said, I showed you guys some of my favorites there. I'm going to go with the artist Andrew Bird. Music video. You guys can add any sort of videos that you like. They can be things like a car commercial. It could be a video of your favorite TV show intro. It could be a video of your hobby. Let's say you're really into horseback riding and it's a video of that. Whatever you're interested in. But I do suggest trying out adding a video as it makes it more dynamic. So we've got a video there. Here's how you're going to add your video. So you're going to go up to the URL. Okay, that's right up here. And you're going to copy. You can copy either by right-clicking and doing copy and then paste, or you can do Control-C. Okay, so Control-C will copy. And then if you go into where it says embed, I'm going to do it one more time. I did that kind of fast. This embed link here, again, if I double click anywhere, it'll also do that. Those yellow arrows are your embed link. And I'll do Control V. Okay, and that's going to bring up the music video. And I say, yep, that looks like what I want. Insert. And now I have a music video on my site. And I can change the size of it, any of that. Again, I can go and change the background. Select image. Let's make this, I don't know, kind of goes with nature. And it's got blues. It'll tie things together. And I still want to center this a little bit. Scooch it this way. There we go. It's nice and centered now. So again, I'm building all of this into my ePortfolio, and you can add as much as you want as long as you are following the requirements of adding one of each of these, and it has to be aesthetically pleasing, and you have to have at least 20 photos or videos. So you've got an idea of what you can create. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, these are simple things that you can use here, but there are a lot of different options for you. Whether you want to add charts, forms, you can add PowerPoints, you can add maps, calendars, placeholders, image carousel that'll make images, a whole bunch of them rotate, collapsible groups, dividers. There's a whole lot that you can do and explore and make it your own. So I really suggest that after you finish the basics, you kind of continue on exploring and making this as creative as possible. I want to show you guys some sites out there that professionals have made using the same technology that you guys are using today. So if you go to your Google ePortfolio requirements on Google Classroom, and where it says Google Sites websites, it's going to bring up 28 examples of Google Sites from around the world. Okay. If you click on their name, it'll bring you to their actual Google site. And what I love about this is that, making the connections to other countries, especially that were an IB school, something to consider is as we become a more globalized economy, and you guys are able to access things around the world, it's really cool that you have the capabilities of presenting your visual style, because maybe you don't speak the language where you are submitting a portfolio, or maybe you're looking for an architect and there's a barrier there. Someone can give you their website and you can get a feeling right away of their work. You can get, okay, this photographer has all of these images, I get their style. This artist has this. So again, portfolios, and especially web-based portfolios of work, are a great way to communicate globally. So let's look at this director here. Okay, let that load. So Philip Zepka. Okay, this is a director. So this is his Google site. And you can see here, the first page, again, it's kind of got an intro, but it looks like a mini film. A lot of videos here. So a lot of this person's work. So you can get an idea of what they're capable of and different genres they've worked with. Things from the Czech Republic, different TV shows, social media. And then there's more pages. We haven't done pages yet, but that's also another option for you to explore. We're going to be creating pages. Each page is going to represent one of your portfolios. So again, all of these things about him in the pages. Let's go to another example. Okay, and you can explore as many of these as you want. Let's go to these architects. Again, another form of design, right? Architecture. So if I pull this up, they've got information here. It's going to scroll through photos. So that's an option you guys can look at. You can embed GIFs, different hyperlinks. Okay, and again, you can see just how creative you can be with this. More information, text here about this group. Okay, very cool. Let's check out one more. And feel free, you guys, to explore as many of these as you want. Maybe get a feel for the style that you're interested in. We've got one from schools, from artists. Here's Leo Kishai, and magazine author that posts articles as a hobby, based in Singapore. So let's check out this artist's page. Again, you can see that all of these are very visual works. So that's why Google Sites really works for them. So you can see a large image here of their drawings. Then it goes to a website, more information about the artist. So more images, things that move. Okay, rantings, ravings, all these very funky images here. We've got just, again, a variety. So feel free to explore this, look through the different examples, see what this program is capable of. Okay, let's see. Let's go one more. Japan Day. I'm interested in this one. Visually, it looks really cool to me. So this looks like Auckland is having a Japan Day. So it's probably something put out by an organization. They've got links, stalls that they're using, rental space allocations, a bunch of videos, all the social media on the bottom. Okay, again, just another example, different pages, galleries, participation, contact pages. This is all using the same program that you guys have available to you. Okay, very cool. So again, explore, be as creative as you can be, have fun with this, put your own design style on it. When you are done, this is very important. I want to show you how to submit. Okay, so once I have this, and if I had all the requirements met, I'm going to go to publish. Publish is basically like saying it's ready for the internet. It is putting it online. It'll be live and available online once I've published it. It's going to ask for your web address. So right here, this is going to be the web address, which is, you can see how it says this in white, sitesgoogle.com. That's like the main web address. So I like that. That works. It's going to be easy to find. I'm going to click publish. Okay, so publish once. It's going to ask for the name. Publish again, and it is ready to rock and roll. It is live. But you got to get this website to me. How are you going to do that? Well, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to copy published link site. So that little icon there, it's supposed to represent a chain a link in a chain. So you're hyperlinking it. That's what it looks like. And you're going to go to copy link. So now that link is copied, but where do you share it? You're going to go back to ePortfolio, and you're going to go here where it says ePortfolio links. This is a Google form that you're going to fill out that's going to share all of your link information with me. So type your email, write your full name. Then this is where you're going to copy and paste. You can right click paste, or you can control V paste, and you have everything there. So I'll put Mrs. George. Oh, sorry. A done. I'll put Mrs. George there. And then I submit. And as soon as you do that, I'm going to have your ePortfolio. So again, feel free to make this as creative and in depth as you would like. Explore the different options here. Look at the example sites that I've provided for you. Okay, under Google Sites websites, get some inspiration to see how far you can take this. And then the last thing, if you finish up and you're completely done, you've got an e-portfolio that is just chef's kiss, perfect. It's your design style, it's your aesthetic, it's creative, it's got all the requirements. If you like something else, there is a challenge here. So this is called the Can't Unsee game. And basically, it'll be a mini challenge for those of you who finish early. And you are trying to select the design that is most correct or most aesthetically pleasing. So this first one, I feel it's kind of easy. This is difficult to read. That's a font that doesn't fit the aesthetic. The different colors don't really match. So I think this one is more correct. And fantastic, I was correct. It'll tell you that it's correct here. So you can press and hold to compare or shift next. So you're looking back and forth. That one versus this one. Much better. And then we've got the next one here. It's asking you to choose which one you like. So you're going to go through, and the changes are going to get more subtle. So you really have to have that designerly eye as to what image works best, whether it's font or colors, the way that things are being displayed. And this is just kind of an extra game here for you to test your sensitivity, to kind of hone those skills in for your website making. Okay, so that's everything today. Thank you, designers. If you got questions, make sure you are raising your hand and asking. I cannot wait to see your e-portfolios.